the apartheid
So what would you like to
allow
see happen,
Palestinians.
Hasan?
Do you not understand the English language?
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is Hasan, our broadcast coming to you live from rainy California, Los Angeles. It's pouring out here, but the soundboard is still alive and well. We're live, we're alive. It's Monday News Day. I'm gonna get right into it. KYRIE is the most vindicated man in so many ways, because for the last like 2 years they were yelling at him for good reason. Like he was saying some like ridiculous shit, right? He was like, oh, I don't know, I watched a documentary on Amazon about like the Jews and their participation in the African slave trade, all this stuff, and you're like, come on, bro, what are you saying? And then, like, at a time when not a single person would speak out, he just was like, no, this is completely unacceptable. What's going on in Gaza is completely unacceptable. Free Palestine. He flipped the script, I think, so perfectly. I remember when I got the KYRIE threes, I was so embarrassed from his flat earth comments. Well, here's the difference. I stood by his side. I stuck with him, mostly because his shoes are really good. And I bought a fuck ton of his shoes. And now they've gone up tremendously in value. No, that's because they're the ones that fit your ass. I'm just saying I am also vindicated for KYRIE being vindicated. Sometimes it's okay. You have to stick by your guys. You know what I mean? Especially if they have a really good basketball shoe, especially if they know how to, especially if they are just like one of the best ball handlers of all time. You got to stick by him a little bit. Your GOAT Lazinus' watch, though, don't even get me started on that, bro, please. How is LeBron doing? It was a devastating day yesterday. Yesterday was a devastating day for like the GOAT conversation in general, because like people were talking about like MJ versus LeBron, right? That's always been the method. It was NBA 9/11 basically. I'm not doing some like, oh, was 9/11 caused by Israel? Like, I'm not doing any of that. This was Israel related 9/11 for sure. Like 100%. This was directly Israel related 9/11 for so many of the GOATs. Okay, they all came down crashing pretty spectacularly. The Chad Palestine supporter, Spike Lee versus the Virgin Zionist LeBron James. Yeah, it's really awesome. Everyone is like yelling at Spike Lee. All of like the Zionist accounts are yelling at Spike Lee on the timeline, where it's like they find it to be completely unacceptable that he is repping Palestinians. Like it's great. Like I don't shy away from saying what my position is. Position being fuck Israel, but like, even a lot of superstar celebrities can just like do their part by simply being like, yeah, actually, I'm pro-Palestinian. Because that's enough for a lot of these guys in the media to just like lose their fucking minds. They're like, how dare you recognize that Palestinians are human beings? Like, how dare you do that? How dare you? And if that's your attitude overall, if that's like what you're going to be freaking out about, yeah, you're not going to win any favors here, you know? Celebrities get blacklisted for being pro-Palestine. I know, but it's nowhere near as consequential as it once was. Let's be real, right? Like there was definitely a point in time when if you were pro-Palestine, you got punished. You got punished pretty aggressively. And now I feel like it's not as costly, which is a good thing. Melissa Barrera came out in favor of Palestine and got fired from the Scream franchise. Insane looking back on it. Is it that insane? It was at the peak. That was at the heat of it. They really weren't joking about blue no matter who. What is this? Admitting that you'll vote for someone objectively worse than Trump if they have a D next to their name. We know. That's our entire criticism. Counterpoint. If the Prince of Darkness rises from a fiery portal at the Iowa caucus declares opposition to Donald Trump, I will ride to battle with the host of hell. When asked if we vote for Gavin Newsom or J.D. Vance for president, Hasan said he'd vote third party. Counterpoint. If the Prince of Darkness, admitting that you'll vote for someone objectively worse than Trump if they have a D next to their name, we know that's our entire criticism. This is funny because if someone says they are vote blue no matter who, we can safely ignore their demands in the primary. Sit down and wait. We'll give you the exciting candidate that you have to support. I mean, I get it. Like, I get why they say this stuff. And it's like, we know you will literally vote. You will vote for whoever, right? We got it. That's great. I'm glad to have your support. This is why I always say a lot of the vote blue no matter who guys do not actually have a real ideological position. They don't have any sort of like real investment, real interest in winning. They will ride for whoever. And Zoran perfectly demonstrated that. Like, there are some who will offer setbacks. There are some who in the establishment Democratic side will fight back tooth and nail and fight back hard. But once Zoran is the Democratic mayor, they become regime pilled. Like that lady Stacey K is a perfect example of this. Like she will literally yell at me if I have like a minor disagreement with Zoran on one of the things that he has done. She'll come out and be like, you need to be disciplined. Like you need to maintain rigorous ideological discipline. You are not praising your leader hard enough. Like, that's fine. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. We need people like that, you know? I mean, they're fucking annoying, but as long as the candidate is doing the right thing and these guys are pushing for it and they're basically party apparatchiks, like, I'm happy with that, you know? Firearms guy, DZ enthusiast, British opinion on gun control stopped being relevant in 1776. Trigger warning, I have opinions on other things other than guns too. This guy has gun in his name, Louisville Le Gun. He has a gun in his fucking PFP. Anyway, I posted this photo with Brandon Johnson, a mayor of Chicago, and also jokingly said Caleb was the other mayor. And he goes, that's a Daniel defense rifle. It was either a pistol with a brace and he switched it for a buttstock in violation of NFA 34, or it's a registered SBR somehow in California, which prohibits them. How? Gavin Newsom just lets leftists break California laws about 30-round magazines and SBRs. California Penal Code 33215 is quite clear on SBRs. California PC 323110 or 310 bans all large capacity mags. No one is above the law, right? And then everybody starts dunking on him for being a fucking bitch-ass snitch. I also quote retweeted it. I said, do you guys believe in a single fucking thing? Because like, if you're a gun guy and that's your entire output and you think this is a real gun, why the fuck would you snitch? You should be saying, I'm actually doing, you know, the bravest thing possible. I'm a Second Amendment auditor, right? And then he goes, people are saying that's an airsoft rifle. If so, LOL, like I said last week, this dude is the most inauthentic person I've ever seen. Fake rifle, empty plate carrier, giant lift boots, appearance over substance, perfect commentary on the average champagne socialist dipshit. It's like, oh, I was wrong in a way that actually betrays all of my, first principles and my values. Well, guess what? He's still the reason why I was wrong. I can't believe you'd snitch on Hasan Piker. Yeah, unironically, fuck him. I'm perfectly fine with making him obey the same laws he demanded get enacted by the politicians he slobbers all over. He's pictured with Brandon Johnson, who's actively suing Glock and has supported red flag laws, among others. Considering the unhinged shit Piker says on stream regularly, it'd be a shame if he got 5150 and got a taste of the government he demands we be subjected to. So-called gun enthusiasts, Second Amendment defenders, when they see a fucking airsoft gun, they have the most hysterical approach. This is exactly the type of approach that they would be admonishing, that they would be shitting on if it was like a leftist doing this. Where's the septum piercing, Louisville Le Gun? Where is the blue hair, you fucking shrieking hyena? You goddamn SJW, you. What the fuck is that? On the one hand, he's like, I love caring about guns. Every American should have a gun. On the other hand, you fucking chirp like you put together the most soy chirping I've ever seen in my fucking life. You have a Texas flag shirt on. You're literally in a costume. Yeah, that's the other thing. He's like, his life is a costume. It's like, yeah, you fucking idiot. That is actually a costume. How does he not delete this post in shame? Because back in the day, there was the capacity to feel shame. Nowadays, they don't have the capacity to feel shame. Shame doesn't exist. It's all information warfare, okay? For them, it's like, he got 12,000 likes on this. This banged. All these fucking right-wingers are like, hell yeah, yeah, let's go after him. All you need to do is double down. All you need to do is double down over and over again. That's it. We live in a post-shame society. We live in a post-truth society. It is what it is. You just got to fucking live with it, all right? It's sad because they do this shit because it galvanizes their side. It gets them around like, $20 in Twitter revenue. That's another reason why they do it, obviously. XQC now denies supporting Trump. He says if you watch the stream, you see he's in a big Trump supporter. But if you watch Aiden Ross's stream, you see XQC's a lying weasel who promoted Trump for nothing more than clout.
You should not be supporting Trump when you're a goddamn you suck, buddy.
Buddy, we could have talked about this the entire game. Why'd you open your mic now then? You want to be so brave, but you're such a bitch ass. Well, if you actually watch the stream, you know that I never supported any candidate, and I always said to people that you should educate yourself and vote on whoever matches with your values, but I would never push anybody anywhere. But if you were to really get down to it, I supported Kamala a lot more than I did Trump overall.
That's so crazy because I know for a fucking fact that like Destiny's bitch ass audience would most likely say the juicer is way more pro Kamala than someone like myself, even though he did a fucking pro Trump stream, objectively worse.
If you want to really get down to it, if there was a bias in one way, I would be biased for Kamala way more than I was for Trump.
Kamala.
Really? We're really gonna argue this? It's crazy.
Yeah, one day everyone will have been against this, okay? And it's here already. This is fucking woke 2.0, baby.
We're in political suicide, buddy. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. If you want to put me today, I would do it again. I don't give a shit. Like your radicalization has nothing to do with mine. I'm not radical. You have standards that are radical. You're weird.
He called you a terrorist for talking to a kid in Yemen. That makes him a pedophile for hanging out with a pedophile president. You know what? I never really thought about it that way. You bring up an interesting point. He's still trying to find his way in this world too, by the way. He's still going back and forth on whether or not he's a reactionary or not. Eventually he'll land on the side of woke once again, for the record, but
we do not care.
you know, he just sees the tide turning.